Beautiful friends from around the world, I'm your host Blackenfist, and I am here to tell you that Zuno must die. And to really explain what I mean, we must look at the past episode that just aired. At the end of the episode 57, Zamasu confronted Zuno in order to find out the whereabouts of the Super Dragon Balls. Now, in order for me to really explain to you why Zuno must die, I must explain Zuno's origins. The whole reason that Zuno even got involved in the plot, back in episode 31, Bulma and Jaco needed to find the whereabouts of one specific Super Dragon Ball in their universe. So Jaco brought up the idea of trying to ask Zuno of its whereabouts. The reason is that Zuno knows everything. No, literally, that is exactly what Jaco said, and that is how Zuno was hyped up to be, as someone who knows everything. I think we can logically conclude that he might know everything about Universe 7. We don't know exactly if that really means he knows everything about the universes. Regardless, I actually found this to be a pretty bad idea. And the reason I found this a bad idea is I felt that this character could ruin future stories. If you have a character that literally knows everything there is to know about Universe 7 at the very least, that could potentially ruin every single mystery or something we're not certain of in the Dragon Ball universe, because all they would have to do is go to Zuno. So I didn't exactly like the idea of having a character around like that. Now, how does that relate to what's going on now in the end of episode 57? Well, as we all know, Zamasu confronted Zuno for pretty much the exact same thing. Now, the reason I'm saying that Zuno's probably going to die is because that would be extremely convenient from a story potential standpoint, because eliminating Zuno would give a lot more freedom for the story to have a lot more mystery and a lot of things our characters are not certain about. That's something that Dragon Ball has struggled in the past. For instance, the biggest example I can think of is that back in the early Cell arc, they could have summoned Shenrong to find the whereabouts of Dr. Gero's laboratory and stopped him before he could do anything wrong. Obviously, that would ruin the entire arc, so obviously they had to give a really weak sauce reason for them not to do that. Zuno could be like that situation, only on steroids, since he literally knows everything. Eliminating him would stop this problem from ever becoming a serious issue in the future. But not only that, since Zamasu is the villain of this arc, and since the present Zamasu is having a lot of contemplation about his motivations and which way he wants to go, an act like killing Zuno would complete his transformation to the dark side and certify him as he has now crossed the threshold. He is now a bad guy. So not only would it serve a great purposes for future stories, it would also be a giant step for Zamasu's character development as a villain. Now, of course, guys, before I say anything more, I'm not saying that I 100% know that Zuno is going to die. I'm just saying that it makes sense for him to die. If whoever is writing Super is smart, they probably would kill off Zuno, because having a guy like that running around is going to be very limiting to future story ideas. So, I'm just saying, don't be surprised if Zamasu brings up some decapitation on that Buddha-looking like plot device. Those are just my thoughts, not fact. But anyway, guys, I want to know if you agree with my assessment, and if you don't, please state your reasons. Until next time, guys, I'm Blackenfist, and I'm out, man.